Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Rectified Podcast. Today's guest is Brian Schultz, founder of the Freshwater Pearl Company, a brand for jewelry made out of freshwater pearl. Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Brian, you come from an extensive experience in the corporate world. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my background, 20-year kind of corporate person. So came out of graduate school with a degree in hospitality and was fortunate enough to work with some great brands like Walt Disney World, Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and MGM Grand. And, I was building a business with a small software company in the timeshare space, kind of still following along the hospitality journey. And then I got introduced to a local company here in San Diego. They were a workforce solutions recruitment company. They had a technology product. They were growing globally. Had a chance to join them and kind of work my way up into a corporate executive role. And I guess at that point, if I can transition, just tell a little bit about my story. My mom,
Yes.
I lost her in Feb 2020 to a 19-year journey with breast cancer. And so she was first diagnosed in 2001, went into remission for 15 years, and it came back in her second breast in 2016, had a second mastectomy, and then was in remission. And then shortly thereafter, it spread to her lymph nodes, had a lymphaectomy, and then shortly thereafter went into remission. And then it spread to her femur, and had eaten halfway through her femur and had to get a rod inserted into her femur to stabilize her bone. Went back into remission. And then unfortunately, it was around the end of 2019 where we found out that it spread to her brain. And so just a few short months later, she passed in Feb 2020. And that was really kind of the impetus, right? That's life, family, is a big part of who I am and what I do, and kind of where I was raised in a small town in Connecticut. Now live in San Diego. It kind of put my priorities in order and said, why do I do what I do? And why am I doing what I'm doing? Yeah. And had just realized that maybe there was something out there. Like I was certainly fulfilled, had a great career, had worked 20 years to get to the position and the role that I had in the company, but just was missing something, and there was like a passion that I was looking for. And I decided to create the Freshwater Pro Company in honor of my mom. And so I shifted out of corporate America in May of 2021 and started the Freshwater Pro Company. So I'm just about 2.5 years on my journey. And in honoring my mom's legacy, I donate 2% of gross sales to cancer research and to nonprofit agencies supporting women and families in need. So that's a little bit about my story, kind of how I started and where I've come to and where I am today.
This is amazing. So you turned something that was like a negative experience into something that's beautiful, positive, helping other people, and then also helping yourself in the process. I really love that. So, what made you go into pearls, for example, as a choice, and what makes your jewelry unique?
Yeah. So the first thing is, my mom was always someone who liked to dress. Like for instance, her hair was something that she really loved to do. So she always went to the hairstylist. I think it's a friendship camaraderie thing, but it was also, she just loved to do her hair, and she loved to dress up, and she always had jewelry. And a lot of times it was pearls, and it was just a mixture of various things. But when she passed, my designer of the jeweler I've known for 22 years. So a lot of that's threads in my business. You'll see that there are people that have been around me and helped me through this journey. And so her name's Diane, and I met her in 2001. I worked with her husband at Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and she's been selling wholesale for about 13 years. So when I said I was going to potentially consider doing something else, she said, why don't you go online and create a brand? And I was like, well, I don't know anything about jewelry. I don't know anything about e-commerce. I don't know anything about websites or sales. And sure enough, here I am 2.5 years later. And so I knew the product was very good. I knew the product sold because she'd been doing it for 13 years. And I knew there was a way that I could honor my mom and give back to women in need, especially families going through cancer or other types of, let's just say, challenges or obstacles in their life. And it just the two kind of came together. It was, even now starting to think about what I do next. It's one pearl at a time. It's one customer at a time. It's, impacting one family at a time. It's impacting one woman at a time. And that's kind of my mantra and mission. And our tagline is "Our Pearls, Your Story." And I had a story to tell, not just my 20-year corporate career and how fulfilling and blessed I was to be a part of it, but now to go out and create something new and to really begin a whole new chapter of my life and to honor my mom. So yeah, that's how the pearls came about. It was through the relationship with Diane, knowing my mom always liked to dress up. And I think you don't have to just wear a pearl at the
Yeah.
fancy event. Our pearls
No.
now, to kind of your second question, are what makes them unique. Freshwater pearls are meant to be worn. There's a lot of people that have the legacy and the heirlooms that are passed down through family
Yeah.
generations. And those are fantastic pieces. But our pearls are meant to be worn every day. And we have versatility in our pieces. I'd probably say top 10 in the world of versatility of what we offer in terms of the color of freshwater pearls. We have various styles in terms of materials, whether it be metal and pearls, leather and pearls, suede and pearls, seed beads and pearls. We have various stones like turquoise and amazonite and lapis. We just have a wide variety. I think there's over 120 pieces on my website. And when you look at all the different colors and variations of suede and leather and seed beads and crystals, there's
Yeah.
almost 400 different variations and SKUs for what we offer. So it's fun. It's exciting. I don't want to
Yeah.
say that we try to appeal to everyone. We don't, but we got price points from
Yeah.
$29 up to our most expensive piece of up to, $1,000.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go to a fundraising gala or something to wear pearls. You can even wear it with t-shirts. You can wear it on a daily basis. And nowadays it has become a very trendy piece of accessory for all generations. So it's also not only for older people, but even like the youngest are wearing it because it has become a trend. And it's such a unique piece that I feel it's a personal opinion, but I think it just brightens somebody's face, sort of. That's what I feel in terms of pearls. Ryan, tell me a little bit about how did you end up with Celebrity Chef, Housewives of Dallas, Vanderpump, all of those people. Just tell me a little bit, like, how did you end up collaborating with all of these people?
Yeah. So you never know, right? How and where things are going to connect to. So it was interesting. I connected with my very first influencer back in August of 2021 when I started the business. And she was a woman with cancer, and she was someone who was doing content around midlife fashion. And she
Mm.
continues to support my business. I continue to support her business. We'll do a third annual Get a Pearl, Give a Pearl this November. And so it was through this network and connection of these women. So she's introduced me now probably to close to 25 to 50 women in the space of influence that talk about fashion or style or design. And it was through that this woman in New York, her name's Cindy Groves, she has a radio show in New York City. And she reached out to me and said, I have a radio show and I have a Pearls of Wisdom spot that I do on my radio show. And
Oh,
she
love
said, would the
this.
Freshwater Pearl Company like to sponsor my radio show for June, July, and August? And so that's how we got started. And then,
Hmm.
typically that's just the beginning. And once she started realizing that I did all these types of collaborations with all these different nonprofits and charities and cancer institutes, as well as women that support fashion and style, she said, I do marketing. Would you be open to doing some marketing collaborations with me? And I was like, well, what do you think? And she's like, well, what's your demographic? And I said, typically it's like a 40, 50 plus year old woman. It's a woman that could be a professional. It could be a woman that likes to network and get together with friends and colleagues. Typically likes to dress, whether it's athleisure wear or it's like a tee like you're wearing today. Just someone that likes to have fun with jewelry, likes to have fun with life, and likes to engage and
Yeah.
connect with other women. And she said, well, I have a couple of ideas for you. And so she introduced me to first Jen Davis. She's a housewife of Dallas, and she's done a couple of collaborations with me and posted on her social media. And then we'll be going to Dallas up and coming to do a sip and shop at one of my friend's house, and then also potentially an event with a local boutique. And then Chef Penny DeViti, she's a celebrity chef with the Food Network. She's been on Vanderpump Rules and has been working and collaborating with Lisa Vanderpump for a few years now. What I do with a lot of my pieces, especially the necklaces, I name them after influential women in my life. And so I just
Okay.
named the Penny necklace this week, and Penny just launched the Penny necklace this past Monday on Instagram. So that was really fun. That was really
Love
cool.
this.
Yeah, my ads are launching today, and so the new penny necklace will be launched. And then I did a Jen Davis combo stat, so we have a picture of her ironically, it's in a bathing suit and she's wearing her pearl jewelry at the pearl. And I just think it's really great to get to just show the different design styles and versatility of our pieces. So
Hmm.
yeah, very
Exactly.
blessed, very fortunate to have so many women supporting me along this journey, and great to have Jen Davis and Chef Penny DeViti as a part of those collaborations too.
I mean, just the cause, behind the brand, I think is enough for these people to say yes to collaborating with you. I'm pretty sure there's going to be many more, and I hope there will be, and that you're going to be a really known brand, like more known than you are now. Brian, it's the third year in your business, and I know for a fact from myself and from working with other entrepreneurs like you how lonely the journey is and how it is to do everything by yourself, figure things out by yourself. The online world is so it's so big. There's a lot of things to learn about. How did you do this? How are you still navigating all of these things by yourself?
So one, I'm very fortunate to have had a team of people that have helped me along the entire journey. As I mentioned, I didn't know Shopify when I started. I didn't know what a website design and development was like. There were lots of things that I didn't know, and I've had and been blessed with a team of people to help me. A good buddy from middle school has run my Google ads. My cousin helped me with some SEO and organic ranking on my pages because I didn't know what that was. Someone I've known since
Yeah.
elementary school helped write the copy and come up with the tagline of Our Pearls, Your Story. She knew my family, she knew my mom. And so she wanted to help me. Allison, who's been my social media manager now since literally day one, she's helped me with content, with all the social media postings, with all the lifestyle photo shoots. She helps me with my email marketing, my blogging. Diane with the designs, and the list goes on and on with all the
Mhm.
collaborators and the influencers. But it's humility, and I think in life, even now I'm 48 this year, I'm reinventing myself, and so the 20-year
Yeah.
corporate career now into an entrepreneur. I have a second business that I'm launching in a service side, which I'm really looking forward to here, up and coming. But yeah, to the core of what I do is I honor my mom, and when you
Mm.
do something that you're passionate about, and you have a big enough reason and mission and purpose and why, like I get up and I say, this is work, but it takes humility, it takes patience, it takes learning. I've done a lot of things, and I'll be honest, I've invested hundreds of $1,000s into this brand. I've used multiple agencies for running ads. I've
Yeah.
tried various giveaways. I've done pop-up stores. I've done trunk shows. I've done so many different things. Some work, but let's be honest, most don't. And so you got to
Yes.
find the things that are most aligned with your audience, that are true and genuine to who you are and what you do. And I think for me, it's that charitable giving. It's
Mhm.
that purpose and mission of honoring my mom, giving back to others going through cancer or through difficult and challenging obstacles in their lives, and finding ways to help them and to do it with a product like Freshwater Pearl Jewelry, and to continue to find people like you said who want to support my brand, who want to
Yeah.
support me, who want to help women and families that are going through these issues and these struggles. I think there's a
Yeah.
big trend to support small businesses and to shop small, especially companies who have a big mission and purpose. And so, yes, it's work. There are days that are harder than others. The entrepreneur's journey can be long. It can be a tremendous
Yeah.
struggle. There's no doubt. I have my good days, and there are certainly some really
Mhm.
dark
Mhm.
days. But at the end of the day, my mom's legacy and the mission to continue to build this is something that just keeps me motivated each and every day. And if I can help other women and families to not go through the same experience that me and my family, my mom went through, and we can give them some additional guidance and support, whatever it is, financially, mental, emotional, psychological, and service and support, that just continues to motivate me each and every day. And so,
Mhm.
yes, it's lonely. Yes, it's
Mhm.
challenging. Yes, there are days that I wonder if it's ever really going to work. But 2.5 years in, I just keep the focus and the momentum on the things that align the most with me, my customer, and just trying to find ways
Yeah.
to give back to more people. And I just believe that that will create a bigger
Mm.
success. And, our Pearls Your Story, that story will be become other people's story and why they buy from us and why they gift from us. And I write handwritten notes to every single customer. And that's just a part of the personalization. And why do I do it? I can still do it at a point of where we're small enough, but my mom wrote handwritten notes to every person that donated to her breast cancer walk every year. And so in honor of my mom, I write those thank you notes for as long as I possibly can to show my customers there's a level of personalization. I fulfill everything from my home and I do everything here. So when someone buys from me, they know it's going to be personalized. They know it's going to be wrapped from me. And then there's going to be a little note from me as well. And so
Mhm.
it's those things. When you stay connected to that inner purpose and that
Yeah.
mission, I think that's the thing that keeps you going each and every day.
Mhm. Um, I really love everything that you said because if you don't have that mission, you would have quit like a long time ago. Like, wait, I know entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've never been in the corporate world. And I know that it's a crazy roller coaster ride. And the ups are really high and the lows are really low. And there are days where you really want to quit. But you know, that moment when you sell some jewelry, let's say in your situation, when I buy from these people, I know that somebody's doing a small dance in the kitchen.
That's
And
right.
I
There's a
know
happy
that,
dance.
yeah, there's always a happy dance happening there. And the same applies to me. We all do the small happy dance because all of the efforts and the perseverance, you know, and everything that we're doing is finally working out and we're going to be able to help and give back, etc. So I do believe that this is like the source of what keeps us going. And I really love this. I'm really curious when you told the people around you that you're quitting the corporate world and you're going to venture into entrepreneurship, did they think that you're crazy? Like you have things happening for you, you have a stable job and everything. Did they think that you are crazy to do this?
It's a great question. My biggest advocate, my biggest rock in my life is my wife, Anna.
Mhm.
And so I couldn't do it without her because, we're bootstrapping everything and building the business from our own retirement assets. So first and foremost, she had the biggest belief in me. And she just said, you do you and you do what makes you you. And if this is where you want to go, I am 1000% behind you.
Yeah.
And even when I started working with Diane, we found a way to get product and to make that work. And so like there are so many people that have just jumped in and just said, whatever you need, I'm here to help you. Like my cousin and my good friend from elementary school,
Mhm.
my good friend in middle school. And so it wasn't like this big shocking belief, like, oh my God, Brian's going to leave all this stuff behind that he worked so hard to build for 20 years. It was more like he has a mission, he has a purpose, his mom's legacy, and now he wants to go and make an impact on the world. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. And so part of my mission and purpose is to teach them, right? That they get to learn
Mhm.
a business. They get to learn about pricing and cost structure and
Yeah.
profitability and accountability and what it takes to run a business. And so there'll be times that they'll help me pack orders and they'll come over and say, how many orders did you get today? Or I'll go do an event and they'll check in and say, how many sales have you had today? You're like, it's just great. Like
Yeah.
it's something that in my corporate world, I was at a conference and there's a gentleman by the name of Ed Milet in the personal development space. And he talks about the world of the merry-go-round or the world of the roller coaster, as you said. And
Mhm.
he said,
Mm.
most people, if you have a job, you have the merry-go-round and you go around in a slow circle and you see the same scenery each and every day. And that's some people's lives. And then there's the lives of
Yeah.
the roller coaster where it's like up and it's exhilarating down and
Yeah.
then it's a big turn and then you go another way. Right. And I'm all animated because
Yes.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of explaining the roller coaster, but that's the roller coaster of the entrepreneur, right? It's not to stay in the
Yes.
corporate world. You don't have that. You do. But I think when I
Mhm.
look back and you have a brand that you work for, whether it be a Disney or an MGM Grand or a Four Seasons Hotel, or
Mhm.
elite premium brands, the brand's known. And so you have that loyalty and
Yeah.
you have your following. But when you start as a small business, I had zero followers. I had zero
Yeah.
customers. I had zero email customers in my database, and you have to grow it. And in
Yeah.
28 months, I now have 1,800 followers and growing, and I have almost 3,000 people in my database. But it's taken
Yeah.
a lot of time and energy and creativity and thought in order to build those things. And so
Mhm.
I think at the end of the day, to really answer your question, more people were more supportive of my notion to go into the world of entrepreneurship
Yeah.
because I'm motivated, I'm passionate, I'm driven, I have an
Mhm.
achiever mentality. And I think you need that, but you need the resilience. You need to
Yeah.
have that mental and emotional and psychological resilience, physical
Yeah.
resilience to push through the challenges. And then all the support that I have to get there, and it starts with my wife. I just can't thank her enough for just believing me and continuing to support me and support the business. And each and every day, she has her own personal wardrobe. She can pull any piece out, and she has any piece of earring, necklace, bracelet, or ring
Yeah.
that she wants to wear to her job as a partner in her financial services
Yeah.
firm. So
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. I'm very,
Um,
very, very fortunate.
yeah. I do believe that it's a blessing. Most entrepreneurs don't have the tribe, if I may call, um they don't have the tribe that's encouraging them. Most, people who want to venture into entrepreneurship, they get a lot of criticism, and I do believe that it's a blessing that you are surrounded by people who are supporting you, so supporting your mission, supporting everything that you do. And it's really interesting that you mentioned Ed Milet. You're the second entrepreneur. Last week I was interviewing another small business owner who also like packs the orders in her car and goes to deliver the products, herself, etc., etc. And she also mentioned Ed Milet and how like listening to him or reading his books, doing one more, and all of the things
The
that he
power,
talks
yeah, the
about.
power of one more. It's right there.
Yeah,
And then right
exactly.
below it, I'll be in LA
Exactly.
tomorrow at a Brendan Burchard event, high performance habits.
Oh,
And
yes.
his notion and teachings and learnings, and I've been lucky enough
Hmm.
to go to Tony Robbins conferences and work with Michael Hyatt and the Full Focus Planner. And so there's just it's been a journey. It's not just the online journey, it's the personal professional development of
Exactly.
me. In order for me to
Hmm.
be successful, or my business to be successful, I have to grow, and I have to look at those gaps and where I need to elevate myself. And so I knew
Yeah.
nothing about social media. I knew nothing about digital marketing. I am by no means an expert. I'm still a novice, but it's a
Yeah.
journey. It's one that I enjoy 98% of the time. And I'll continue to work through the other 2 or 3% of the time. But to your point,
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I have a very supportive cast of people that continue to help me and support me every day. But to your
Yeah.
point earlier, I think it's my mom. I think it's that mission. I think it's the legacy. And I
Mm.
think it's that I'm out here to help. I have a
Yeah.
store in Cabo San Lucas at a resort. It's the Acre Resort. And it's been now a year and a half that I've had that store, and I donate 2% of sales to their animal rescue. So on property, they have an animal
Mm.
rescue. And so they have dogs and cats and bunnies. They have a camel. And it's just a big part of giving back to the community. And there's a couple people that work at the resort that make various types of, whether it be bathing suits or other types of jewelry. I want to promote and help them. And so I sell some of their stuff in my store as a way to
Mhm.
support the local community there. So
Yeah.
again, giving back is a big part of what I do. And it's in who I am. That was what was missing from, I think, my corporate career, was trying to give back and help others. And I'm just very fortunate I continue to do it,
Mm.
and certainly pray that my journey will continue and I can continue to grow
Yes.
and continue to do it each and every day.
Yeah. I wish that for you too.
Thank
Brian,
you.
we're at the end of this episode, and I usually like to ask my guests a series of 3 questions. Are
Okay.
you ready for that?
I'm ready. I hope. Let's see.
So, Brian, how would your friends describe what you do for a living?
Oh God, how do my friends describe what I do for a living? I think they would say he has a mission and a passion to help others. Like that's his
Yeah.
biggest thing. He has
Love
a heart.
this.
He has a heart of gold, and he really wants to help. And I think people
Mm.
who get to know me see it and feel it each and every day.
I love this. Question number 2. What is one thing that your work did that you didn't expect?
So I think, life's a journey. And one thing I didn't expect was kind of going through the corporate world and going through everything that I'd done, but it was kind of preparing me for this stage. And so everything
Mm.
stacks on top of each other.
Yeah.
And so in my last 2 jobs, when I was with a small startup company, we were a small company and kind of grew through the toughest economic times of 2006 to 2011. And
Mhm.
then with the workforce solutions company, Eastridge, that I worked with, we've probably grown 3 or 4 different divisions over my 10-year tenure. But all of those led to me now building my own business. And I couldn't be where I am
Yeah.
today if I didn't have all those learnings through my 20-year career that had gotten me to where I am
Mm,
today. And for all of the people throughout my life that had gotten me here through elementary school, middle school, high school, college, graduate school, everything stacks up and life is just one continuous learning process. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
I
something
agree
that
with you.
I have learned and have been now looking back. It's a blessing in disguise that I probably would have
mhm.
never have noticed.
Yeah. Last question. Is there a book that changed your life and you would recommend to our audience?
Oh, a book. There's a lot of different books that I've read. What's the biggest one that I've really enjoyed? The Power of One More by Ed Milet is fantastic.
Yes.
Brendan Burchard's High Performance Habits is fantastic. Those are probably two.
Yeah. These are the
Um,
top two.
I
Like
think there
we just
was,
need one.
yeah, those are two. And Jeff Alton has a book, and I really enjoyed his book. And he talks about the concept of your network of, you're influenced
Mm,
by the five closest people to you. And I think
Yes.
that was powerful to me, especially as I start to network in entrepreneurship, that you need to find people and be
mm,
around people that elevate you, because I'm
Yeah.
a novice and a new space. And so I need to find people that can continue to get me to that next level. So,
mhm.
So
um,
true.
so yeah, those are probably three of the ones that I think have been the most impactful to me.
Perfect. Thank you,
Sorry,
Brian.
I couldn't say one. I just couldn't say one.
No, it's
Three
okay.
in so many
It's
different
okay.
ways.
It's okay. Brian, where can our audience find you?
So the freshwaterprocompany.com is our website, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, Pinterest at the Freshwater Pro Company. That's our handle.
Perfect. Perfect. We're going to link to everything in the description of this podcast. Thank you, Brian, for being a guest. And to all the listeners, I'll be with you next week with a new episode.